Welcome to another episode of the HomeTown podcast, where we learn beyond what we're taught and we know beyond what we're heard. So hang on. Today, our special guest is Mr. Trent Martin. Trent,
good morning.
Welcome to the show and appreciate your time. I know your time is very valuable. So we just continuing our series of episodes here, trying to get, people to understand who we are and where we come from. Very simple stuff, but sometimes I think we take that for granted in today's electronic world. We don't really think that we need to talk anymore and just introduce it. We're really just trying to introduce folks to the public and our customer primarily, and even to other employees, because we got 65-ish or almost 70 now, and it's not as easy as it used to be. So welcome again. I always kind of start this off with some simple questions just so people can get a good feel for where you're from and that kind of thing. So, where's your hometown?
Birmingham.
What part of Birmingham? That's a big place.
Born in Center Point, pretty much. Raised in Center Point, Chalkville.
Okay.
And then we moved here. So
high school?
Went to Irwin High School. Long time ago.
Long time ago?
Long time ago.
So, what year you graduate from Irwin?
Graduated from 1987.
Yeah.
That tells everybody my age there.
Yeah. Well, that's part of this, It's important for us to know a little bit about that anyway. Know where you're coming from. So, graduated Irwin, had an illustrious baseball career, I understand.
Quick and to the point, yeah. Learned I wasn't as good as I thought it was.
Yeah?
That's the way it usually works, though.
Brothers, sisters, anything like that?
Only child.
Only child. Mom and dad living, they lived in Birmingham, and then I guess.
They're up on the Straight Mountain with us.
Oh,
so
okay.
They live right up the road.
All right. So, since I mentioned your baseball career, I mean, I know that you're famous for at least getting a strike against what is now a Major League Baseball Hall of Famer. Is that correct?
He pretty much ended my career, yeah. It was off season. We pitched playing against Auburn, and Frank Thomas was down there. So I threw him a curveball, and he hit it. And it's still traveling the globe.
It's still in the orbit somewhere.
That's when you realize maybe you need to find a new career.
Kind of interesting. I looked him up just to kind of get some more background on his whole thing. And everybody thinks he and Bo were at Auburn at the same time, when actually one left the year the other arrived and that kind of thing. And he went on a football scholarship.
He was a very big young man.
Frank Thomas is a great story if you ever get an opportunity to go out there and look at it, because he came on a football scholarship. He stayed on a football scholarship because they didn't have a baseball scholarship to offer him.
Mm-hmm.
And, now he's in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. I mean, it's just an amazing story. But I guess after you saw that ball in flight, you kind of figured out this guy's a little different.
Yeah, it's time to do something else. Yeah, they were definitely guys that were a lot better than what the rest of us were.
It's one thing to play against a Major League player. It's another to play against a Hall of Famer,
It was amazing, but I went home and told my wife that day that was the end of my baseball career. I need to find something else to do. So we went straight on to school from there.
Yeah. Yeah, you realize that's the real deal. That guy's there you go. Well, I mean, hey.
Crushed your dreams.
Crushed your dreams. There you go.
Yep.
Well,
I think every young boy dreams of playing baseball or football or whatever, but yeah, that was pretty eye-opening.
Yeah. So you mentioned your wife, Angie.
Yeah.
So
been married for quite a while. Yeah, we dated in high school, and then we got married right after high school, not long after high school. So when I was 20 years old, we've been married ever since. So I think we're going on like 34, 35 years now.
Congratulations.
Yeah, quite a while.
Yeah, it's
amazing she hadn't got rid of me too.
Yeah, well. Sometimes they keep us right where we're supposed to be. That's the whole deal,
Yep.
Well, and so what about children?
I have 2 kids. I have a daughter who just had a birthday yesterday. Megan, she married a boy from Straight Mountain, Cameron Cox. So they have 3 kids. Great guy, great daughter. She was never a problem. Don't think I spanked her maybe once in my life. And then I had a son, a couple years younger than her, Trent Martin, and he's still working here in Blount County. And uh, I don't think I had to spank him more than about 3 or 4 times, and that was it. So they've been great kids. I couldn't ask for anything better. Aaron and Jordan, they have two little girls. So we have 4 granddaughters, all beautiful, and 1 rowdy little grandson. So, and it's a lot of fun.
5 grandkids, that's a blessing. I mean, you really, like I said, we haven't really had any to this point. So tell us a little bit about. Well, I know we probably don't have enough time to go through all the different things that you've done because I know it's a lot. And you're a serial entrepreneur is what I tell people. But you also started work early in life and really just had something like that going on all the time. So just give us a little background on that.
Well, you started, I guess, in my teens working. We did mostly construction work to start with. Then had convenience stores, farm. Then we went to a laundry, built houses, and now I'm working in the banking business. So
Yeah.
I've done a little bit of everything, but I don't know if I mastered any of them, but it was a lot of fun.
But you've been exposed to a lot of things. And,
Been exposed to a lot.
that's something that I think we can take forward is that, we encourage people here at the bank and then beyond the bank to, expose yourself to as many things as you possibly can. I mean, it's just very important. It makes for a, much more knowledgeable, fulfilling life. And it's just a matter of, I saw something the other day, and I know that this is a quote actually from, trying to think of the actor's name, but 97% of life is just showing up.
Right.
Sounds like you showed up in a lot of different places at a lot of different times.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I definitely use all my experiences on a daily basis, from the construction side of things to the farming side of things to the years in the convenience store to the years in the laundry.
Yeah.
So it's all been, it kind of falls all together. It builds who you are, I think.
So you got exposed to people, obviously, and
lots of people
in the convenience store. And then, anytime you get in construction work, you get involved and exposed to a different group of people there also. So, and you learn a little bit about the mechanical side of things and how to do things. And then I know that you were an entrepreneur even when you were at Auburn.
Yeah, I did. When I was at Auburn, I had 3 jobs. I worked at the post office. I worked for the Auburn Vet School doing experiments on animals, and I worked for an apartment complex repairing damage to apartments and things like that. And then my wife would probably kill me, but we raised rats and
raised rats,
and while we were at Auburn and sold them to people with snakes. And I'd come home from class and Angie would say, "There's $30 on the counter. Somebody came by and got some rats," and that'd be what we bought dinner with that night and paid the bills with. And it just worked. So I just always enjoyed doing things like that.
That's just ingenuity, I mean, again, one of the things I think that builds character in people is those, you face those things and you just find a way around it and find a way to get the $30 for dinner.
That's what it was. I mean, we went around and I found a guy who was selling his trailer, and I bought a shed from him for $20, and he put it on his truck and brought it to our trailer, and then I fixed it up, and that's where I kept the rats in. And I fixed all the rats' cages and stuff, and we actually got the cages out of the dumpster at Walmart. They were throwing them away when the cages were broke, and we would put them together, and then I would have them in there.
I think you're one of the original dumpster divers anyway, Trent.
That we did that in college.
Yeah. Well,
we still have ornaments on our Christmas tree that we got out of the dumpster at the Walmart in Auburn.
Yeah. That reminds me when my son Andrew was moving one time that, there's a moving day, right,
Mm-hmm.
for each
It was.
semester or whatever. And if you've not experienced it, it's a real experience. And because everybody's trying to move at the same time, you've got maybe a 2 or 3 day window to get everything done. So we were actually loading the truck to move him to another apartment. And I noticed people just riding around the neighborhood looking for stuff that was moved out to the front,
Mm-hmm.
and then they would load up a dresser or load up a mattress or load up a whatever.
Yep.
And that was kind of like picking,
It
the
was.
original pickers,
Yeah, because the college kids didn't care. They weren't the ones paying for it. So instead of moving it, they would just push it out by the dumpster, and
Yeah.
then everybody else that was in need would ride around and pick up furniture or couches or chairs, just like you said.
Yeah.
They had 2 days to get out and move wherever, and then they would come back at the beginning of the next semester and move back in,
Yeah.
which I never understood, but it was just like you're talking about. It's like a huge a garage
Yeah.
sale.
I mean, people just riding around. I mean,
Mhm.
it's almost like watching for Christmas lights or something. They're in line to get
That's
this
it.
stuff, It's really interesting, and it's really something that you can, learn from if you're
Yep.
ingenious enough, I guess, or entrepreneurial
Yep.
enough to do
Take
it.
advantage of the situation.
Yeah, no doubt. So, we found out some of the stories about, your baseball career and how that ended. But anything else that just kind of, I mean, as far as you've been here at HomeTown, how long?
Going on 5 years now.
Wow, that's amazing, Trent.
Yep.
I got to tell the story. We started this conversation. I've known Trent for 20 plus years, and we just happened to be on the phone one day, and I can't remember what I'd called him about, but he said he's putting his resume together. And so I said, well, why? And he said, well, I need a job. I mean, his contract was running out with folks he was working for at the time. And I said, well, why don't you just go to work for us? And he said, well, what would I do? I said, well, you fix stuff. We got a lot of stuff,
Yep.
and you get 4 or 5 locations and all kinds of stuff. We need somebody that can fix things that you can rely on. And I mean, we've been really, really pleased. I know things have gone really well, and we've enjoyed, you being around. So
Been good.
yeah, and again, it gets you back out there too
Yep.
amongst the people, and that's one thing about this business that's fantastic is the people that you meet and the relationships you kind of create, through that. So it's a really good deal. What is it you see is kind of unique about HomeTown, or are there unique things about HomeTown Bank?
The unique things I like about HomeTown Bank is how much all the employees care. They really do. They always put forth the effort, the attitude everybody has. Everywhere I've worked, there's always tension sometimes in workplaces, and here at HomeTown, I don't feel that at all. That's the one thing I've never felt. I don't seem like you hear people talking about each other. I've never heard an employee talk negative about another employee. I've never heard them talk negative about a customer. I've never heard anything negative out of anybody. Every day it's fun to come to work, and every day it's happy.
Yeah.
And it seems like everybody enjoys being here, and it makes you want to come to work too, and you enjoy it. So I kind of enjoy that about HomeTown.
I appreciate
than
that,
anything.
Trent, especially, coming from someone who's done as many things, different things as you have, and then been exposed to the different types of folks you've been exposed to. So, yeah, we feel like that we're unique, but, we try not to read our own press, and we try to keep it going all the time. So,
it's a constant job to keep that attitude going, and that line of the way you do things. It's hard to keep it going. And
Right.
that's another thing, we're able, seems like the people you've hired or whatever that we've got in place, Patty or yourself have hired over the years, have kept it going. And that's really,
well,
unique.
it's a process, and it's a
Mhm.
22-year process.
Yes.
So we learn too, on what we should and shouldn't do, and what fits and what doesn't. So, well, Trent, thanks again for your time. I know again it's very valuable, and but I do have one last question: what is it exactly that you're enjoying about life right now that you're involved with a lot at time that you spend?
The things here lately that we've been doing, we remodeled our lake house up at Smith Lake.
Mhm.
So I've enjoyed like having the family up on the weekends and just sitting there and then watching the water and cooking out on the grill and watching football games. And that's been really, I've tried to enjoy things all my life. I've worked hard and worked 7 days a week a lot of times. And I'm trying before I pass away, I'd like to kick back and enjoy just a little bit on the weekends.
Yeah.
And so that's what we've been doing here lately.
Well, thanks again, Trent. Yep. And thanks for tuning in on the HomeTown podcast, and we'll see you next time.